Welcome to this explainer. I'm really excited to dive into this with you today. We're looking at a completely critical, real-world operational reality for modern businesses running AI. We're skipping the hype, we're skipping the basic marketing fluff, we're getting right into the actual mechanics of making AI work in a commercial setting. So if you're an operator, a managing director, or a leader who's already launched an AI system or is getting ready to, this is built exactly for you. We really need to have a sharp, commercially intelligent conversation about what actually happens after the launch party ends.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Look at this quote. Your AI system did not fail overnight. It drifted quietly. I love this line because it completely shatters that comforting illusion that a successful launch day means the work is, done. It's such an easy trap to fall into, right? You put in the hours, the system goes live, it nails the first few queries, and everyone gives each other a high five and assumes it's a massive success. But this really hits on the true nature of AI in business. It doesn't just instantly break. Instead, it slowly, quietly loses its edge.
All right, moving into part one, the set and forget myth, and specifically why the idea of being done is just an illusion.
So, why do so many incredibly smart business leaders, naturally but incorrectly, believe their AI project wraps up the second it goes live? Honestly, it makes total sense. Think about it. Almost every piece of tech we've ever bought has followed a super predictable pattern. You buy the tool, you map the workflow, you configure the system, you train the team, and boom, you go live. You check the boxes, everybody takes a massive collective sigh of relief, and you say, finally, done. We feel like the project is complete because, well, that's literally how we've been deploying software for the last 30 years.
But here's the catch. Artificial intelligence does not work like a static filing cabinet. You can't just set it up, close the drawer, and assume everything's exactly where you left it. Think about traditional software. When traditional software fails, it fails loudly, right? A button breaks, a page crashes, and integration just completely stops. Someone immediately notices and fires off an IT ticket. But AI? AI systems fail quietly. The answers just get a tiny bit less accurate. The routing becomes slightly less useful. And trust? It just slowly, quietly decays.
Which brings us to section 2, how AI drifts quietly, or what we call the slow burn of decay.
Let's look at what actually happens in the real world, say months after a system goes live. See, the AI didn't suddenly become bad. It's way more subtle than that. Let's imagine a service business that launches an AI assistant for client inquiries. Month 1? Fantastic. The AI is answering questions, routing inquiries, prepping handoff notes. Everyone's thrilled. But then time passes. By month 3, maybe a pricing rule changed, but nobody updated the knowledge layer. By month 6, the assistant starts giving outdated answers, or, routing leads to the wrong person entirely. So what happens? Staff start double-checking everything. Nothing explicitly broke, but the trust? Completely evaporated.
So, why exactly does this happen? Well, the AI drifted quietly simply because the business changed around it, and nobody updated the system to match reality. Think about your own day-to-day operations. You add a new service. Customer questions naturally change over time. Compliance policies get updated. Maybe a key staff member leaves and your workflow shifts. Or weird, unpredicted edge cases start popping up. If nobody is keeping an eye on these failure points and updating the AI to reflect those real-world changes, its performance is 100% going to slip.
Moving to section 3, the first real test, and why go live is really just the beginning.
We absolutely have to reframe how we look at launch day. It is not the finish line. Frankly, it's the starting line of a brand new operational capability inside your company. Treating launch day as the ultimate victory is a huge commercial mistake. Go live only proves that the system is plugged in and online. It does not prove that it's going to stay accurate, trusted, or aligned with your business as things change. An AI system only becomes truly valuable when it's operated properly, inside your actual workflows, over a sustained period of time.
And look, we aren't just making this up as some arbitrary best practice. This is rapidly becoming the gold standard for commercial operations. Take Australia's AI Technical Standard, for example. It explicitly mandates that agencies must test periodically after deployment and specifically monitor for performance and AI drift. So post-launch monitoring isn't just a generic maintenance task or a cheeky vendor upsell. It's a serious, required standard to make sure you have safety, reliability, and proper human-machine collaboration in the real world.
Okay, section 4, what good operation looks like and how to establish an operating rhythm.
Now, let's pivot from the problem to the solution. And I really want to reassure you here,
Ongoing operation does not mean constant drama. It doesn't mean endlessly tinkering with code, and it definitely doesn't mean paying consultants forever. It simply means your AI needs an operating rhythm, and it really boils down to 4 distinct actions: monitor, tune, govern, and improve. That's it. That's how you keep your AI perfectly synced up with the reality of your daily business. Someone just needs to own these steps so the system stays sharp and reliable.
So what do those operational signals actually look like in practice? Well, you need essential review loops. For example, someone needs to look at the knowledge layer and update it whenever policies change. You have to review where the AI hands a task over to a human. Are those handoffs still working smoothly? You've got to monitor for exceptions, track if your staff's correction rates are creeping up, and govern the overall workflow alignment. This kind of structured review catches that quiet degradation way before it ever creates friction for your customers or wrecks your team's trust in the system.
And the evidence absolutely backs this up. If you look at McKinsey's 2025 State of AI Research, the organizations that are actually getting stronger with AI, they aren't the ones who just implement a tool and walk away. The high performers are the ones redesigning workflows, embedding AI deeply into their processes, tracking specific KPIs, and implementing practices that create ongoing value. In short, experiments get launched, but operations get managed. Let's head into Section 5. Operate, don't just implement, the Omnisenti partnership. This is where we talk about the partnership side of things, because frankly, you have a business to run. Managing AI drift shouldn't be this heavy permanent burden dumped on your internal team. And that is exactly where Omnisenti comes in. As your expert partner, they help you actually operate the AI, not just implement it. So after the initial audit, the blueprinting, the architecture, and the integration, Omnisenti steps in to provide that critical governance layer. They help you monitor the performance, update the knowledge layers, manage those human review points, and improve the whole system over time so it just keeps working flawlessly in your day-to-day operations.
Now here is the lingering commercial challenge I want you to really sit with today. The big question isn't just, have we implemented AI? Think about it. Your competitor's AI is getting better every single month because they're actively governing it. If yours went live 6 months ago and nobody's looked at it since, guess which system the market is actually going to trust? Who is making sure your system still works next month?
This is the ultimate mindset shift. If you take away just one core message to bring back to your executive team, let it be this: AI is not set and forget. It's an operated capability. It is monitor, tune, govern, and improve. Once you embrace that, your system goes from being a fragile experiment to an incredibly durable, highly valuable asset for the long term.
So, if your AI system is live right now, but you're realizing that nobody is actively checking whether it still works properly, it's time to act. Reply with the word operate. Let's have a serious conversation about establishing a proper operating rhythm for your business. We can help you see exactly what needs to be monitored, governed, and improved before that performance starts drifting quietly. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Now go take control of your AI operations.